Of the Northeast Democratic Alliance, a platform of BJP and its 9 regional allies of the Northeast, took place in Guwahati today. The BJP President Amit Shah and Chief Ministers of Assam, Nagaland, Sikkim and Arunachal Pradesh, along with other alliance leaders, were present at the convention. Himanta Biswa Sarma is the convener of the alliance that has 3 objectives. 1, to expand its base in the Northeast. 2, to put the Northeast's growth in sync with the national growth. And 3, at the international level, to take forward the region's strategic advantage in India's Act East policy. Here's our report.
With the aim of achieving a Congress-Mukt Northeast and ensuring that the fruits of development effectively take root in the Northeast, the Northeast Democratic Alliance, a group of like-minded regional parties, and the BJP had their first convention in Guwahati on Wednesday. Steps taken by the central government for these 8 states and the problems that they face were discussed in detail. BJP President Amit Shah and Chief Ministers of Assam, Nagaland and Sikkim, along with leaders of other alliance members, were present at the first political conference. Amit Shah said that through the alliance collective effort, not just the northeastern states, but the country as a whole would develop and move forward.
आज जो नेडा बना है, वो नेडा पूरे नॉर्थ ईस्ट के अंदर एक राजनीतिक संगठन के नाते नॉर्थ ईस्ट को भारत के साथ एक रस करने की महत्वपूर्ण भूमिका नेडा निभाने वाला है, ये मैं स्पष्टता के साथ दे सकता हूं.
Amit Shah blamed the previous government for the northeastern states lagging behind in development and said that had those governments given adequate attention to the northeast, it would have developed by today. BJP and its 9 regional allies shared the platform with Assam Deputy Chief Minister Himanta Biswa Sarma as its convener. NEDA was formed after BJP's impressive victory in Assam elections in May this year. At this first political conference, Assam Chief Minister Sarbananda Sonowal said that for the northeastern states to develop, all leaders of the region must work together.
जो जिहादी का अभी काम शुरू हुआ है नॉर्थ ईस्ट में, जो घुसपैठियों का यहाँ आबादी बढ़ रहा है, इसके वजह से हमारा आस परिसर में काफी खतरा पैदा हुआ है. तो इसका साथ मुकाबला करना होगा और मुकाबला करने के लिए हम सबको नडा में खड़ा होकर एक साथ मिलकर मुकाबला करना होगा.
BJP MP from Arunachal Pradesh and Union Minister of State for Home Kiran Rijiju said the central government is taking several steps to see that the sense of alienation is removed from the minds of people of Northeast, a point reinforced by his colleague Minister of Development for Northeast Jitendra Singh.
देश भर में हमने क्या-क्या कदम उठाया है और जहां आपका सुविधा क्या-क्या अवेलेबल है, उसके लिए हमने एक बुकलेट जारी करने का निर्णय किया है. वो फाइनल स्टेज में है पब्लिकेशन के लिए. तुरंत ऑल नॉर्थ ईस्ट का पॉलिटिकल पार्टीज और जितने भी एनजीओस है, we are planning to circulate the copies to each and everybody so that people of Northeast understand that the government of India is taking all the vital, crucial steps to ensure that Northeastern people do not feel alienated, rather they are integrated and more so protected.
अब सरकार हमारी है, अब मुख्यमंत्री हमारा है. मुझे विश्वास है कि नए मनोबल के साथ, नए भरोसे के साथ, नई ऊर्जा के साथ और नई साहस के साथ हम और अधिक गति से सोनोवाल जी और बाकी मुख्यमंत्री मित्रों के सहयोग से डोनर का काम और तेजी से बढ़ा सकेंगे और पूर्वोत्तर में अपनी योजनाओं को और गति के साथ आगे बढ़ाने में सफल रहेंगे.
BJP allies, the Bodoland People's Party Chief Hagrama Mohilari, AGP President Atul Bora and Ganashakti Party Chief Ranoj Pegu also attended the meeting. The Guwahati Manifesto was presented, which discussed 3 major points: local, national and international importance of the Northeast. They pledged to make the region free of the Congress and to expand their alliance's presence into the Northeast, working towards its all-round development. The central government in 2 years has done much for the development of infrastructure in the Northeast, with emphasis on rail and road network. At many places, rail services have been started for the first time. Attention has been paid to power transmission and telecom connectivity. Sikkim has been declared an organic state, creating jobs, and a number of steps have been taken for promotion of sports. Also, talks with the militant groups to eliminate the problem of insurgency that has plagued some part of the region for long. Newsnight Desk, DD News.
Well, and to discuss how the Northeast Democratic Alliance is going to change the way the people in the Northeast think and the politics of the Northeast, We have with us in the studio Deepak Dewan. He's the executive editor of the Northeast Sun magazine, and Surajit Dasgupta, senior journalist, national affairs editor of Swarajya. Thank you, gentlemen, for being with us. Mr. Dewan, let's start with you. How much, has the Northeast suffered because of a lack of unity, let's say?
Well, unity, you mean among
I mean
states?
unity amongst political parties.
Yeah.
That's what I meant.
It is very unfortunate to, that, the region had to suffer because of the total neglect from the center in the past. See, center always looked at, okay, this is Congress ruled state, that's enough.
Okay.
They were happy as long as the Congress party was ruling
Sure.
all these states. I mean, they never thought of tackling the problem of alienation.
All right.
In fact, in one of the trips to Northeast, I was traveling with former Prime Minister Mr. Narasimha Rao.
I see.
From Agartala, we were going to Dimapur. So in flight, we had a chance to interact with him, 2-3 of us. So I asked him this question, Mr. Prime Minister, the people of this region feel alienated. How can we overcome this? The answer I got was, he says, I do not think your theory is correct because Congress has ruled one by one most of the states in the country.
Sure. Okay. Sure.
So that's how it was being looked at.
So alienation you've raised is one of the key issues. Mr. Dasgupta, 25 MPs have been sent to Parliament, are being sent from these 8 states. But it's 8 states. And so, and each one probably speaks for a small constituency. When we all get together on a larger platform, these 25 MPs, do you think they would have a larger and a louder voice?
What is very important in all these alliances that the BJP has been making across the country, of which Northeast the latest chapter, is a feeling of equality. In any alliance, if a partner feels that it is constantly being neglected, the alliance won't last long. The BJP has had quite a long history of maintaining good alliances and coalitions. Perhaps that is why the regional parties of the Northeast are hopeful that because they have got into alliances with the Congress as well, and yet they have left with a very bitter taste in the mouth. That was obviously because either they were treated as pushovers or they were not considered important enough in the national scheme of things. And this alienation that we keep talking about is also a cultural, religious and political fallout of this attitude of the Congress. For 70 years, it's very unfortunate that this situation has been allowed to prevail for such a long period of time. Even very simple things, very obvious things like by land mass, that area of the country is separated by Bangladesh. So why can't we have pacts with Bangladesh so that land transport is facilitated through its territory? And these things are progressing now.
We are seeing
part by part.
Yes.
And actually, I would like to add to my friend Surajit. See, in this democratic alliance, one sees the BJP is trying to reach to the grassroots level through these regional parties in all the states. Like they experienced, in the Assam election, they did it very well by joining hands with AGP and BPF. Maybe on their own they cannot, but they know that they have to go with the regional
forces. So let's look at the
forces.
political scope then, Mr. Dewan. What is the ground reality? What kind of ground support do these regional parties have?
See, NPF in Nagaland has BJP also as a constituent partner. And if you look at Sikkim Democratic Front, they have only lone MP. But if they are part of the ally, it's as good as BJP's partner. And the other thing is, like if you see now Mizoram, we have elections next year we have Manipur elections. Following that we have Mizoram. In Mizoram they have tied up now with the MNF, Mizo National Front. See, a state like Mizoram, if BJP goes on its own, may not get that kind of welcome, you know, gesture
and these
from
parties
the
amongst themselves, I mean, they may have been, now they would probably see, since they are part of this alliance, they see a common agenda. Would you say that,
common agenda,
Mr.
and they
Dasgupta?
also get strength from BJP.
Yes, certainly. You know, what happens in a national scenario is when the central government works on a certain set of plans and it meets with hurdles and obstacles from different state governments that are run by different opposition parties, it's a hurdle to the economic upliftment of the country. Whether those policies are right or wrong is a different debate. What is important is that the whole country should work in unison, in mutual coordination. That becomes difficult when the opposition is for the sake of it and not based on very major issues. So NDA government has been facing this problem in certain states. And with this kind of an alliance, whoever comes to power among the constituent parties, maybe there could be some MLAs who get more seats, some MLAs get less seats in the party sharing arrangement, the seat sharing arrangement. Nevertheless, NDA, I consider NEDA as an extension of NDA. So NDA will have a say in that region. And that will help in trade, in commerce, in establishing links with other countries that are in the adjoining areas, Myanmar,
So,
Thailand,
Mr. Devan,
etc.
it is, after all, the aim is development. And we have seen that perhaps development has lacked in the region, and we are looking at putting that region in sync with the growth pattern of the rest of the country. And yes, now, if the government's plans, which are already in place and they are working towards, connectivity in a big scale, road, rail, etc., if that all has to bear the best fruit, it has to have some sort of cohesive atmosphere to function, isn't it?
Yes, and also this kind of alliance will also sort out the differences which have been long pending, like, boundary issues between the states. See, if a forum like this where they can sit together and think of development, I'm sure they would sort out all these problems also. See, I'll give you one example, center-state relation. If you remember, just before the Assam elections, BJP's vision document, they had said, if our party comes into power in Assam, we will seal the Bangladesh border. And today they have announced a cut-off date has been given 2017. So that these kind of things will happen, which are good for the region.
A final point from you, Mr. Dasgupta, on the international setup. When we look at the Act East policy, the region is supposed to play a significant role, and it has that strategic advantage. But again, I mean, for that to happen, the region has to act as a whole.
Given its geographical location, different kinds of trades that materialize through land routes will be facilitated. Immediately we can think about Myanmar. Through Myanmar we can think of Thailand. Through aerial routes and sea routes, of course, we can also get connected to Taipei and Hong Kong. Then further, as you go to the Far East, covering Japan and South Korea. So what we are looking at is a scenario where these 8 states together grow up as a business hub, as an international trading hub. And, mostly India's trade has been Mumbai based. The port of Mumbai, connectivity with Western nations, etc. If you have to act on the Act East policy, it has to be Northeast, which is going to be the hub for this kind of an activity.
We'll have to leave it there. We've run short of time. Thank you very much, gentlemen, for joining us here on Newsnight.